Welcome to the SubSummit podcast. Real conversations with the operators scaling subscription, membership, and recurring revenue in today's commerce landscape.
Every road in the subscription economy leads to Kansas City this May. Welcome to the SubSummit podcast, your preview of what's waiting at SubSummit. Today, I introduce you to Jennifer Cline, the Chief Marketing Officer at SubSummit, where she leads the marketing and content strategy behind the top event in the subscription commerce space. Jennifer and her team are all about creating experiences that bring founders, operators, and innovators together to connect, share, and grow. She's passionate about building a community where real relationships are formed and conversations actually move the needle. Jennifer, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to do this.
Yeah, I'm excited to chat with you on this, our first podcast episode of the SubSummit podcast. So for anyone that may be living under a rock somewhere and has not heard about SubSummit, why don't you share what SubSummit is and what it's all about?
Absolutely. So this is our 11th year in the conference, and we are the largest event that is dedicated to recurring revenue. All the subscriptions, memberships, anyone that's talking about loyalty and customer engagement, we're the place to go. We're May 13th through 15th, like you mentioned, in Kansas City.
Now, we're going to put a link in the show notes in case you need access to that. And if you want a little preview of not only the speakers, but the topics that they're going to be talking about and the folks that are going to be there at SubSummit as well for those in our listening audience. So what problem does SubSummit solve for operators that other e-commerce events maybe don't quite do the way SubSummit does?
Yeah, so I go to a lot of events and I love events. I love the interpersonal interactions that you get that you just aren't going to get online. But ours is different because it was created by people actually running a subscription business. They were in it. They were hustling every day. They had the grit. So they understand what it is to be an operator in the space. We're not talking theory. We're not talking ambiguous ideas. It's really practical knowledge. And you're walking away with those playbooks that you can immediately apply to your business. Everything we do is intentional. So an example of that is our industry roundtables. Those are going to kick off every day this year. They welcome 6 to 10 merchants talking about a common topic that they have an invested interest. So you're coming with your actual problems in your business and you're talking to people like you to solve those problems. And then you also get to watch the general sessions that are happening on track in our keynotes to listen to those playbooks, to listen to the people that are in the weeds of it. But it's all very intentional. Another thing that differentiates us is our Women in D2C meetup. That's happening in the last day of the event. It's different than your traditional session because there's a lot of interaction with the audience. There's a Q&A with all of our speakers. You get the opportunity to bring your existing challenges to the table and talk through them in a meaningful context with people that actually know how to solve them. So you're going to go to a lot of events. You're going to do a lot of networking. Some of them are going to feel a little awkward, maybe. Nothing that we do is awkward. It's the work hard to play hard mentality the entire 3 days here at SubSummit.
Yeah, and as someone that has attended SubSummit in the past, I'll tell you, you get just as much from the social experiences as you do from the learning sessions as well. It really is a great opportunity to put heads together and meet a lot of nice people in the group.
Yeah. I mean, to continue that thought too, one of my favorite parts of SubSummit is the cross-pollination. You never know who you're going to learn from. So maybe you are a CPG brand, but you are listening to a streaming service talk about how they overcame those challenges. You can apply all of those lessons no matter what industry you're in. If you're focused on recurring revenue, there's something for you to learn from all of the people coming.
It's a pretty diverse audience, I'm sure, that's listening to this podcast, and those that are attending also pretty diverse. Tell me who gets the most value out of being in the room at SubSummit?
Yeah. So if you're focused on that scaling aspect of the business, the recurring revenue aspect of the business, you need to be at SubSummit. About 50% of our attendees are VP or higher. So like you said, it's diverse. You could be the intern working on social media, but you could also be in the C-suite making those strategic decisions, and you're going to get something out of the business. We know that so many types of brands can focus on that recurring revenue, whether you started as D2C, whether you started in retail, started on Amazon, no matter where you started. You could be an enterprise company worth more than 500 million, or you could be a company that's 100 million. And we make sure that the content and the networking has a fit for all of those people.
So I love that this year's conference, as it has been in the past, there's a theme for each year that you've put this together. And this year's theme is the Crossroads of Commerce. Can you share with our audience exactly what that means?
Yeah, so SubSummit's really the intersection of everything happening in the industry. we're really at a crossroads of what it means to be recurring revenue. Like I said, whether you launched in D2C or you launched it in retail, now it's the crossroads of commerce. Now you have to be everywhere to everyone and truly complement what those people are looking for. I could be standing in Target and looking at your product on the shelf while also looking at it on Amazon and deciding where I'm going to buy. So you need to bring all of those people back into the relationship with you. What does that look like to truly engage that customer, complement their lifestyle, and take care of them and make sure that they feel heard? If they're buying at Target, make sure that somehow you're getting that relationship with them, whether it's a QR code on your packaging or an email campaign that follows up with them via Target's path. They all need to come back to your CRM. They all need to have a relationship with you. So that's a lot of what we're going to talk about this year at SubSummit.
Just a little teaser for one of the future episodes that's coming up. When your subscription brand hits the shelf in retail, I think it's a really interesting episode that I had a chance to record already, and I know that our audience will be listening for that as well. Speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about some of the trends that you're seeing in recurring revenue and how a SubSummit is touching on those things at the conference. I'm sure some of it's going to involve technology. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk all day about AI, and that's definitely something that we're going to talk about at SubSummit, lots of sessions on AI, but the conversation is often consumed by AI. So I wanted to focus on some other things right now. So one trend that we're seeing is the term omnichannel is very much changing. It's interesting if you look at Google Trends for how much we're using the word omnichannel. It was like, let's grow, let's grow, let's grow, let's peak. And now it's just plummeted because now it's just a core expectation of your business. You can't just say you're omnichannel. You have to live it at your core and breathe it as a business. You have to be everywhere. Your product placement, your marketing, it has to be everywhere. So we're looking at the word omnichannel a lot differently this year. Products, and my second trend here is products and services need to complement the person's life in a really meaningful way. So what does that look like in practice, and what does that look like in SubSummit sessions? So it's the pause feature and the cancel feature can't be hidden. It's the flexibility in payments. We see buy now, pay later extremely growing right now. It's making sure you're partnering with brands that your customers are already using and giving them a discount or giving them an added value to the membership. It's taking care of them in a way that's holistic, comprehensive, and really understanding who your target audience is and what do they need more of you. So I wanted to talk about a couple of sessions that really talk about that. You already mentioned ButcherBox. She's doing a session. It's called From Subscription to Shelf, How ButcherBox is Expanding Without Losing the Box. Mm-hmm. Then another session that's going to touch on these things, loyalty at scale, what it takes to evolve a program used every day. That's going to be with Starbucks. They just launched a new loyalty program and they truly listen to their customers. What's wrong with this? What can we do better? What are our opportunities? How can we increase the LTV of all of our customers? Another one is our guide to evolving membership, partnerships, add-ons, and enduring value with AARP and SiriusXM. Those are incredibly reputable brands, and they have a little bit more risk ability, but they've done so many things that were risky and tried so many things. So now they can come and give us the behind the scenes look of what worked, what didn't work, what should you think about with partnerships and add-ons? How can you truly add value to your members to make sure that they are the lifers, or if they're going to pause, make sure that they're coming back to you.
I've been to a number of conferences outside of SubSummit, of course, that I walk away and I'm really motivated and inspired, but there's a lot of fluff that's in there. And I'm hoping that SubSummit, and I know from past experience, SubSummit is one of those where you can take the lessons that you've learned and actually execute. So when someone leaves SubSummit, what do you think that they will actually walk away with that they can go ahead and execute almost immediately when they get back home?
Yeah. So short and sweet, it's solutions to their practical problems. It is they know what they're coming in trying to solve for or evaluate an opportunity, and they can get the practical insights from people that have tried it before and either failed and told you what they failed at and what went wrong, or they succeeded and give you those lessons learned that they had to overcome themselves, right? Like I'm talking about the industry roundtables that we're going to start every day with. So you've got 3 opportunities, 3 hours to talk with up to like 30 people if you do all of them. And the conversation's raw and it's candid and it's about your problems and their solutions or their experiences. Same thing with the speakers. The speakers don't just go on stage and talk and walk away. They're in the room with you after those conversations, and they're available to you to answer the questions. They're in the app and having chats with you. They're continuing conversations with you after the conference. Like Last year after the conference, we talked to a lot of our attendees and we asked them, what did you like? What did you not like? So many of them said that they had new friendships and partnerships that they never knew that they were going to walk away from, or they never knew they even needed, right? And so now there's like this whole New York posse of people that came to SubSummit, didn't know each other, and now they go to lunch once a month, talk about their problems and keep solving them together. So you're working on the business at SubSummit in a way that you just don't get to every day. And then you walk away with practical insights to immediately apply to said business.
Yeah, I will tag on that for sure. I had a great opportunity to meet with a number of different brands when I was at SubSummit, many of which have well beyond the years where I have been in business. And they've taken my phone calls. They've had meetings with me. They've actually mentored me through a number of different issues that we are having as a subscription-based program also. And it's great. It really is a great place to build relationships. You did mention a couple of brands, and I want to hit on this before we ask us a final question or two. You hit on a couple of brands. Who's already in the room this year? Can you give us a sense of the companies and the roles that are going to be there?
Yeah, so we have an all-star lineup on the speaker page. If you jump on subsummit.com/speakers, you can look at all of those. And then behind the scenes, people are registering every day. We're expecting about 1,600 attendees this year. We've got Everyday Dose, Masterclass, KiwiCo, Harry's, ButcherBox, Today Show, True Classic. The list goes on and on. So again, if you are focused on recurring revenue and there's a brand like KiwiCo, I've been looking at them for years, idolizing what they're doing behind the scenes and really respecting and being inspired by their product and their marketing. Now you can come and you can talk to those people, even if they're not on stage. Walk around and meet with them. Heavy CPG focus this year. We know that a lot of consumer product goods, they want to be able to have predictable revenue. And so they're expanding what that looks like and focus more on their LTV and some digital memberships as well.
All right. Well, I'm excited to be able to be there again this year. And I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt that your crew, the team that is there from SubSummit, is the friendliest group that I've ever seen. They gently walk around and they remind you of different things that are going on within the conference.
My
mentality and it's so great.
Is everyone's already our best friend. We are there to help them. What would you do for your best friend? How would you treat them? If they came to you and said, I need to work on this with my relationships or my business or whatever, that's exactly how we treat everybody. Our sponsors, our merchants, like we have a whole sponsor concierge that if you sponsor the conference, we're holding your hand throughout the entire process to make sure you feel comfortable and confident in everything that we're doing together.
Not just talking the talk, but walking the walk as well is the entire team over at SubSummit. And finally, what's the easiest way for people to attend the conference?
Yeah, so if you are a direct to consumer merchant brand, that's the New York Times, Netflixes of the world, then you can go through our hosted meetings program. That'll get you a free ticket and up to $750 in travel reimbursement. You can find that application on our site. That will do a double opt-in meeting program for you. So again, you don't know who you're going to meet that you didn't know you needed to meet. So this is a great opportunity for you to do a ton of quick conversations to evaluate partners that can help you increase your efficiencies or help you scale or whatever is something you're trying to solve for in your business. There's also a paid ticket option if you don't want to do the hosted meetings program. And then if you're a solution provider, the payment gateways, the fulfillment centers, those types of people that help our merchants do the things that they do best, then you can either sponsor the conference. We have a few booths left. We've got some great programs that you can look at there and some branding, or you can do a paid ticket option for that as well. If this is your first year, sometimes people just want to walk the floor. They want to explore. They want to mingle. So that's a good option to do there.
All right. Well, all of that information will be in the show notes. So just click the link in the show notes if you want to have access to attend the conference. Jen, I so appreciate you sharing your expertise. I'm excited to be able to see you again at in Kansas City and looking forward to hearing much more from those that are attending as well. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for listening to the SubSummit podcast. If you want to be in the room with the operators building the next era of subscription and commerce, head to subsummit.com and grab your pass now. Make sure to follow the SubSummit podcast so you don't miss upcoming interviews with the founders, brands, and partners shaping the industry. We'll see you at the Crossroads.